Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. I will be starting shortly at 3:35. We're just going to give attendees a few minutes to join. All right. Thanks again, everyone, for joining. It's 3:35, so let's go ahead and get started. This is Navigating LA County and Metro Contracting Opportunities presented by Supervisor Hilda L. Solis. And for our agenda today, we have our introduction by Lakeisha Bearden. She is a Director of Program Development for Meriwether and Williams Insurance Services, which administers the Contractor Development and Bonding Program. We'll see a pre-recorded welcome from Supervisor Hilda El Solis, and we also have her staff here, and we'll also go ahead and welcome him here today. We have a testimonial from one of our very own contractors that we'd love for you to listen. His name is Tyrone Austin, and he is the president of Trinity Contracting Concepts, and you'll hear more about that in a second. We have representatives from Metro, the International Services Department, and LA County Public Works. We do have a section for questions at the end of the presentations. So if you'd like to have your questions answered by the speakers, please hold them towards the end, and we'll have a moderator there to help us through that. We also do have the Q&A section or option. So if you don't want to wait until the end, please use that, and we'll also have someone there to answer your question. And to close everything off, we'll have again Lakeisha Bearden. So let's go ahead and get started. Lakeisha, would you welcome the supervisor for us today?
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Lakeisha Bearden. I am the Director of Program Development with Meriwether and Williams Insurance Company. We are a Hub International company, and excited to be here today. We administer the Contractor Development and Bonding Program, a regional Contractor Development and Bonding Program on behalf of the City of Los Angeles, LA Metro, and the County of Los Angeles. So really encouraged and excited about this opportunity to, in concert with the supervisor, to provide all of you, especially those of you who are small businesses, with an opportunity to hear about procurement practices with the various agencies as well as and departments, as well as the resources that are available to you as a small business, and some of the project opportunities that are coming down the pipeline. But before we get started, I know your time is precious. I do want to introduce our supervisor. Hilda L. Solis is the Los Angeles County Supervisor who represents the residents of the First District. She has been a champion of the program since inception and of many causes that help small and diverse communities. As a daughter of a working class immigrant parents from Nicaragua and Mexico, she understood at a young age the challenges that workers face and the dignity that they deserve. Taught to value hard work and give back to her community, Supervisor Solis believes that government with the right leadership can help substantially improve the lives of many people. Raised in La Puente, California, Supervisor Solis was the first in her family to attend college at California State Polytechnic University, Pomona, despite a lack of institutional support from her high school. From there, Supervisor Solis began developing her political values as a progressive champion for the most marginalized people in our society. Since both of her parents were members of their unions, Supervisor Solis became an early advocate of workers' rights, better wages, and workforce safety eventually becoming the United States Secretary of Labor for President Barack Obama. Supervisor Solis accelerated the county's efforts to combat homelessness and allocated funding to build thousands of affordable housing units in her district and around the county. She authored the groundbreaking Measure A to invest in communities without green space, expand open and recreational park space in their neighborhoods, and protected water quality. She led a coalition advocating for communities facing environmental injustices near the Exide recycling plant and helped to clean up poisonous lead in thousands of homes. Supervisor Solis is leading the effort to reimagine public safety in Los Angeles County and prioritize expanding healthcare and jobs instead of mass incarceration, leading the effort to cancel a $1.7 billion contract to build a new jail. Yay. She pushed to fully fund a $20 million workforce and job training program for disadvantaged young people and authored more than 40 motions defending immigrant communities during the previous federal administration. Most recently, she also met the Biden White House call to action to address the humanitarian crisis at the southern border by setting up an emergency intake site in her district for thousands of unaccompanied children. She resides in the city of El Monte with her husband Sam and their dog Lisa. Please help me in welcoming our good friend, Supervisor Solis.
Good afternoon, this is Supervisor Hilda Solis. Welcome to our exclusive virtual outreach workshop, Navigating City Contracting Opportunities. This is a unique workshop. You will learn about the county's contractor development and bonding program, which is administered by Meriwether and Williams Insurance Services. You will also gain insights into the upcoming construction projects with Metro and LA County Public Works. The contractor development and bonding program is designed not just to expand your capacity as a contractor, but to open doors to exciting growth opportunities and encourage your participation in construction projects throughout Los Angeles County. This webinar is an excellent opportunity for you to learn and take advantage of the valuable resources available to you for free. We are excited to announce a new and exciting pilot contract financing assistance program, a new resource for small local contractors for public works contracts. The Pilot Contract Financing Assistance Program, or CFAP, will provide small local contractors enrolled in the Contractor Development and Bonding Program with contract funding, providing cash flow assistance to fund their labor, materials, and other contract-specific expenses while awaiting contract progress payments. This is a pilot program in partnership with PACE Finance Corporation, a local community development financial institution in my district that has partnered with the County of LA to help support our small local contractor community. Finally, we have a definitive response to access to capital thanks to this new partnership. As an elected official representing 2 million residents in LA County 1st District, I have fought hard to implement these programs to help licensed contractors benefit from contracting opportunities. We urge you to apply and to take advantage of these opportunities. The Los Angeles County is currently experiencing significant construction growth and multi-billion-dollar projects underway or in the planning stages. With the 2028 Olympics on the horizon, there's a renewed sense of purpose and excitement around completing critical projects that will support this historic event. In summary, today you will learn the fundamentals of bonding and discover why it's necessary for public works projects. You will also hear about new and upcoming small business projects, and finally, you will have the chance to have your questions answered by the speakers. We hope today's workshop will help you maximize your potential because we can count on you to play a critical role in the economic comeback. Sign up and become a part of the program. Thank you for your participation today. Good afternoon.
Thank you so much, Supervisor. As she mentioned, two of the major hurdles for small businesses are bonding and access to capital. But we also want to take this a moment to introduce one of her staff members, Wakas Rehaman. He is the Director of Infrastructure and Economic Development. Wakas?
Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you, Lakeisha, for the kind introduction. It's my honor and pleasure to be part of this virtual platform and outreach workshop. Thank you for bringing it together and providing this very valuable resource. As everybody has already mentioned, there is tremendous contracting opportunities combined with LA City, County, and Metro, and I'm a big true fan of the services you provide, and coming across the biggest barrier, as you mentioned, those bonds and access to capital to get into the public contracting opportunity and build those family wealth building opportunities for our small businesses and grow capacity in them. So looking forward to a very robust conversation and a learning session here. And again, thank you for partnering with us and truly being honored to be part of this virtual workshop today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wakas. Next slide. Go ahead. Next slide, please. So a little bit about Meriwether & Williams Insurance Services. We are by license. We are a property and casualty firm, but most of you probably know us from our contractor development and bonding programs that we've been administering for the past 27 years now. Recently, we were acquired by Hub International, which means we're the same team, we're doing the same work, but we're providing our clients and our contractors with more impact, more availability to provide resources and opportunities for our businesses so that they can maximize their contracting potential. Next slide. So what is the purpose of our program? Our program really is designed to remove the barriers of bonding and access to capital by providing businesses, small, diverse businesses with accessibility to equity of resources. And we do that through our 4 pillars of contractor development, assessment and technical assistance, bonding and contract financing support, education and training and contract support, and our prime partnership program. Next slide. So what is bonding? Why is that so important, especially for those of you who are contractors? Some professional services as well, but mainly our contractors right now, you are required to bond, especially if those projects are over $100,000, according to the Federal HURD Act of 1994. And recently, the local state agencies adopted the Little Mill Act, which requires state agencies to have their own limits set for what they will require for bonds. So it's important for you to know exactly of what agency you're working with and what their limit is when it comes to bonds that are required for you to do work on their projects. Why is bonding important and why is it such a barrier? Because you have to qualify. It's not like your traditional insurance where it's a two parties, they tell you what you need to pay, you pay that premium. This is completely different. Bonding, you're required to qualify, much like you are required to qualify access to capital. They are going to do some underwriting to make sure that you can complete your the capacity or the cost of the project. So for example, there's 3 parties when it comes to bonding. You have your obligee, the one that's requiring the bond, that could be the agency or the prime. You have the principal, the one who has to pay for the bond and who has to perform the work. And then the surety. The surety is the one who is protecting the, or I should say, providing the indemnifying the obligee. So they're saying they're making sure that the principal can perform the work. So it really is important for you to understand the intricacies of how bonding works as a contractor so that you're prepared to do work with public agencies. It can also be used as a pre-qualifying mechanism. A lot of prime contractors look to small businesses and businesses in general just to see if you are able to bond. If you're able to bond, they know that you have been vetted. So bonding is a critical aspect of doing business with public agencies. So we could talk a little bit more about that if you're enrolled in the program, or if you have your account manager, your contractor development manager, to really sit down with you and go provide an assessment and go over the details of our program and what bonding you qualify for if you're not currently bonded. Next slide. So we talked a little bit about bonding. So our program can identify a broker partner for you. If you don't currently already have a broker, we can identify a broker. We work with brokers who've been working with small businesses for the last 27 years. So they're really interested in helping small businesses grow. If you already have a broker, we definitely can work with them to help increase your capacity. So our program offers collateral support and up to $250,000, maximum $250,000, or 40% of the contract value as collateral. So that's available to you through the City of Los Angeles, LA County, and LA Metro. We also have our contract financing assistance program, which Janet, my colleague, will go over. Again, you will be assigned a dedicated account manager or contractor development manager who acts as your business development manager, who's advocating for you, identifying projects that are right-sized for your job, helping you identify resources that will help increase your overall capacity. We also provide subsidy of $3,200 if your broker requires you to provide CPA prepared financial statements. We will offer you that $3,200 subsidy. We also do what we call weekly blitz of the week. Well, it's our LA Contractor Weekly, where we blitz out information about what's going on in the local contracting arena in terms of outreach events, in terms of pre-bids, in terms of networking or training. So this is a valuable resource for our businesses, especially as a small business. You are busy on your day-to-day, you're out in the field, you don't really have the time to jump from portal to portal to really identify what's out there. This resource is your one-stop shop for you to sit and really navigate your week or see what bids are available to you in your business. Next slide. So we do start with a assessment. So you're enrolled in the program, you will be provided with a dedicated contractor development manager who will sit down with you, really get an idea of where you are with your business, where you want to go, and then provide you with a work plan. Really, that's your roadmap. It outlines some of the things that we over this last 27 years, recommend you do as a business. If you're not familiar with registration with DIR, you currently aren't certified, if you need help with understanding how to bid to public agencies, those types of resources are available to you through our program, and we'll identify that in your work plan. We also provide our businesses with a contractor profile. It's much like a capability statement, and this capability statement really outlines, you can use it as a marketing tool, and it outlines, it may have your scope of work, the services that you provide, your NICS codes, all those things to really highlight your business as you're moving about and networking and doing meet and greets. It's really important for you to have something to profile your business. It's more than a business card. Again, we help assist with certification. We do bid document review as well. So if you find a project that you're interested in bidding on, we will help you do a bid review. We don't provide you with numbers, but we do provide you with that extra set of eyes. Like I said, small businesses, you're kind of solo. You may have one or two other people supporting you, and so we want to be that additional support for you as well. Contract completion support. So if you were to take advantage of our collateral support, we do provide contract completion. We want to make sure that you are completing the project successfully. We help you from start to finish, from project start to project closeout, to ensure that the money that you access through our program is returned back into the pool of funds, so that another contractor or you can take advantage of those funds for another project. So that's why contract monitoring is important. The agencies have put in this pool of funds because they are serious about doing work with small businesses and want to make sure they're increasing their over contractor pool. Our monthly workshops and our coaching, we do monthly workshops on construction related events, or topics, should I say, excuse me, construction related topics on PLA, labor compliance, contract review. There's a lot to be learned and heard and said about the things that we are doing in terms of training our contractors to make sure that they continue to grow in this space. Our construction training academy, our bidding and estimating, our contract award and management, those are 6-week immersion training on bidding and estimating and contract award and management. We partner with our prime partners in this space so that those businesses are in small group settings and they're able to really work directly with the small businesses to get to know them. So a lot of times when we're having these outreach events, there's so many people, there's not enough opportunity for small businesses to connect. So these small immersion trainings and bidding and estimating is a great tool for the businesses to really get an opportunity to learn about how to be pre-qualified with various prime contractors, as well as an opportunity to network with them. Next slide. So I'm going to introduce my colleague, Janet Ramirez. She is the contract financing analyst for our program. Janet?
Good afternoon, everyone. As Lakeisha mentioned, my name is Janet Ramirez. I am one of the contacts here for our contract financing assistance program. So I'm just going to go over a few details of the program and what we encourage you to do prior to you getting that awarded contract. So first, you would need to be enrolled in our contract development and bonding program. You must be a SBE, DBE, just a minority small disadvantaged business. We do encourage you to get pre-qualified before you are interested in bidding. And by pre-qualified, we mean starting the process of gathering documentation so you can be considered for that loan once you do have that awarded contract. So we do specifically focus on construction contracts and some professional services as well. Currently right now, the professional services is geared towards construction related projects. And then the funds that are going to be approved, if it is approved, it would be allocated funds for the approved project only. So if you are to get this loan, it would only be specific to that project that you have been awarded. So the difference between a regular commercial bank is that we use your awarded contract as collateral. So meaning, let's say you don't have any money up front to start the project, we will use your contract as collateral. So the progress payments, once you start the job, once those progress payments start coming in, we will use that to repay the loan back and to continue cash flowing the project. And then currently, the max amount of the loan that we can lend is $250,000, and our partner is PACE. We also have another lender. They are the Pacific Coast Regional Small Business Development Group. So we do have two sources of funding here in Los Angeles. And then an important thing to know is that the money is released as needed. So let's say you were to get approved for the $250,000, but you only need $50,000 to start buying the material, we would just release the $50,000 first, and then we will kind of continue to see how much it is that you would get the other tranche. So as the project goes, we will go ahead and release as needed, so you don't accumulate that interest cost. So with these loans, there is a third-party funds administration that is required. So they would be managing all the funds. You would never be able to touch the money. The loan is under your account. A bank account is under your name. They are just the administrator of the funds. So if you need a vendor to get paid, you need to pay for materials, make payroll, you would just submit a draw request to them and they would go ahead and get those payments out for you. So how the process is, first we'll go ahead and pay all of your bills, meaning vendors, labor, materials, any equipment that is rented or leased for the project. Once we get all your bills paid, if there's enough wiggle room to kind of pay back the loan, then we'll go ahead and pay the lender. And then once the project is complete, we'll go ahead and release the profit that you made on the project. So as far as the interest fees, everyone's favorite topic when we talk about loans, currently it is market rate. So it's a 9.5 interest rate plus a 1% origination fee that the lender requires. So it's going to be 10.5%, but as mentioned, the interest is only accumulated on the amount that is released upfront. So let's say you were to get that $250,000 loan, $50,000 are out, it's accumulating on a daily basis. You pay down $25,000, you have $25,000 outstanding, it's only going to be accumulating on those outstanding balance on a daily base rate. So this does increase your credit score. We do report it to the credit bureau, so this does have a positive impact because our goal is to eventually get you commercially bankable. And then some of the items that we like to touch on is that this is not just a Band-Aid where you can just get these funds. We do want you to learn how to do a cash flow projection so you are aware of all of the costs that are needed to fund the project. So you know whether to, if you need to rebid, you need to do whatever you need to do. These are the skills that we want to show you so you can use this tool to apply it for other projects. And then again, it's likely that this will go ahead and help you in the future to gain capital through a traditional lender. So we do encourage you to get pre-qualified, start sending in those documentations, and we're ready for you to kind of get the ball rolling on. I'll hand it back to Lakeisha.
Thank you, Janet. So a little bit about our bid document review. We attend pre-bids. This is a way for our contractors to learn more about the services that we offer on behalf of our sponsor agency. We also use this as an opportunity to learn more about the opportunity so that we can work with our contractors directly as they begin to bid on new opportunities. We talked a little bit about contract review. We assist with this in terms of if you are awarded a contract or if you are looking to bid on a project, we will help review the contract to make sure that there are no underlining information or things that you need to be aware of as you're making go and no-go decisions. We do a final bid review. Again, we don't provide numbers. We look to you as the subject matter expert. And but we do want to be the extra pair of eyes for you to make sure that you're signing and dotting all your I's and crossing all your T's, and that documents have been submitted properly. If you look to for a post bid debrief, we will provide that for you as well. We have our field support project executive, Robert Laurie, who has been working in public space with large primes as well as small business prime contractors as well, and trades, and really knows the ins and outs, and is very available and willing to help businesses like yours. Next slide, please. This is just a little bit about some of the other items that we provide to our contractors. We do job start checklists. We help you put that together if you don't currently already have one, to make sure you're ready to mobilize. When a contract is awarded, we do our monthly check-ins to make sure that you're okay, and that the prime as well, or the obligee in this case would be the agency or the prime, to just make sure that the work that is being done by you and your firm on that particular project, that it's all working out smoothly. We do provide and assist with construction schedules if that's something that you need. So we do provide a wealth of information and knowledge overall to support you in your business growth, and making and ensuring that you complete your project successfully. Next slide. So all of this is offered to you at no cost. These services are provided and paid for by our sponsors, the City of Los Angeles, LA County, and LA Metro, because they really are investing in you as a small business. Thank you. And if you have any questions, please take a screenshot of this, but I know Mildred said she'll be sending it out. And we're looking forward for all of you joining and enrolling in our program if you're not already a part of the program. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Lakeisha, and thank you, Janet, for that wonderful presentation on the 4 pillars of the Contractor Development and Bonding Program. So we do have a success story. We have Tyrone Austin, president of Trinity Contracting Concepts. He took advantage of what the program offered, and we just want to show you the video of his success story, so that you hopefully are inspired to, join us and have your own success stories. So without much ado, let me go ahead and play the video.
My name is Tyrone Austin. I am the president of Trinity Contracting Concepts Incorporated. We are electrical contractors and also general contractors. I've been able to take advantage of many of the opportunities that the program offers. Programs like the Contractor Development and Bonding Program are very vital to helping us grow our business, because most of us understand the trade, but it's the business side of it. It's the support that we need with getting our paperwork together, having contract review, and the bonding assistance, the collateral assistance that the program offers. It's great for small businesses, and anyone out there that's thinking about it, you're not out there alone. What you really should do is come join the program, spend some time getting to know the account managers. I have a great account manager, Michelle. She knows small business. We also have Lakeisha, who is just really, she gets in there and she helps you. There's a whole staff of people. You will not be alone. You will be able to learn a lot if and only you apply yourself. So we're just waiting for you to come and get you from one point to the next. And every time I attend one, I learn something new, like whether it's my business plan or my safety plan or how to schedule projects. Don't think about it, just do it. Make the sacrifice, make the time, come with an open mind, and network and connect with the other students in the class.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We're going
Oh, pardon me, I was on mute. So that was Tyrone Austin. And he is one of our contractors, like we mentioned. He's taken advantage of the program, and it's as easy as, just a small enrollment form and you're in. But we will hear more about that in later presentations. For now, we'll go ahead and take a poll. And we just would like to know how you heard about this workshop. So let's go ahead and launch that. No. All right, perfect. Wonderful. Thank you to everyone who participated. So let's go ahead and continue with our presentations. First, we have Jan Davis. She is the interim senior representative at the Diversity and Economic Opportunity Department. Welcome, Jan.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. And Mildred, I just want to test, can you hear me okay?
I can, yes.
Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you. I am so happy to be here with our friends from Meriwether and Williams, and we are going to talk about navigating contracting opportunities here with Metro. And I believe that that's a very important word. Next slide, please, Mildred. So again, I'm Jan Davis, and I'm the Senior Representative for Strategic Outreach in Diversity and Economic Opportunity Department. Next slide, please. Great. So just really quickly, I know we don't have a lot of time. There's a lot of information going on. But for those of you that don't know, just want to tell you a little bit about DEOD and who we are. Well, first of all, we're your friends on the inside. We're your advocates for small business program initiatives and opportunities. And we serve as your system navigators. And I think that that's just a key word here today, navigating these systems. I know that we're going to give you a lot of information, but that's what we're here to do. We're here to help you navigate those spaces safely and comfortably, so that you can take advantage of every opportunity that's out there for you. So our responsibility here in DEOD is we administer and oversee our small business program initiatives here at Metro. We publicize contracting opportunities. We provide training and resources. We set DBE, SBE, and DVBE contracting goals, and we also monitor compliance. Next slide. Okay, so here's the part that's really fun. So we want you to be able to obtain information about our open solicitations. So you see that email there, I'm sorry, that URL, that's our vendor portal. And on our vendor portal, you are able to go in and take a look, and you would go to metro.net/connect, and it's going to take you to our homepage, and it's going to give you a couple of tabs, and you'll see small business tools. Well, in that small business tools, you can either hit Metro Connect, or you can go right to our small business program initiatives. But there's so many different things that you can do in that area. One of the most important things, though, is if you would hit the tab that says solicitations, then it's going to take you to all of our open solicitations for every procurement that we have in this agency that is contractable. Also, it's going to take you to our small business prime set-asides. It's going to take you to bids that are available for our medium-sized business as well, and that's in two sections, medium-sized 1 and medium-sized 2. So there's so much there. There's our small business toolkit, that gives you informations and tips about our small business programs. You'll be able to take a look at the 12-month look ahead to plan for how you want to partner with some of the bigger agencies or bigger contracting agencies so that you can participate in the small business goals that have been set on these particular contracts and procurements. Also, you're going to get links to our events and our calendar so that you can come in to our events wherever they are, whenever we have them, so that you can get more detailed information about Metro Connect and what the subcontracting opportunities are. So that is, if you don't remember anything else leaving from here, remember metro.net/connect, and you're going to go to our small business page, and you're going to look for open solicitations. So next slide, please, Mildred. And I know I'm talking fast, but you can contact me anytime. I'll give you my contact information and you can ask me any question that you would like. So let's talk a little bit about Metro's small business program. So we have our local small business enterprise program, our LSBE. That's a preference program where you would be able to receive a 5% preference in your bid. It doesn't change the bid price, but you receive a preference if you are a prime contractor with that higher, or when you submit your proposal and you have DBE or SBE or DVBE firms that are local, and if you yourself are a DBE or SBE firm that that is certified and doing business in the LA area, your headquarters. There's a lot of information, but we can give you more information about that in some of our events, like, for instance, our How to Do Business with Metro workshop. Also, there's our Small Business Prime set aside, where you, as a small business, are able to compete with other small businesses for contracts that have been designated as small business prime set aside. You have to meet a certain threshold. We don't have time to go into that, but that is on our vendor portal. And you will do 30% of the work, and then you can hire other firms, even large firms that are larger than yourself, to do 70% of the work. And then my personal favorite is the capacity building program, which is called COMP, Contractor Mentoring Program. Mentoring, and it's our small business protege program. So that's my personal favorite. And for contracts that are $25 million and above, the prime contractor is obligated to submit in order for that contractor to be responsive to the bid. They have to submit a mentoring and protege plan. So that's actually my personal favorite. Next slide, please. Okay, so we talked a little bit about our Small Business Prime program, where if you are a small business, you only compete against other small businesses that for a particular opportunity. If you just click one more time, please, Mildred. There you go. And so what happens is we will unbundle a package, and it's a little bit small. So hold on one second. Let me just get my notes here. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll unbundle the statement of work to meet the threshold, okay? And then we'll look for some NAICS codes for that particular threshold. We'll use that, do that by our SBE query, and we'll select at least 3, okay, firms that would be able to bid on this contract. We'll issue the solicitation, and if it's successful when it goes out to bid it as a SB Prime, then it is awarded. If it's not successful, for instance, if we don't have 3 firms that bid on it, then it goes back out to open market. But the wonderful thing is that it does work. It is successful. And since its inception, we've awarded over $250 million. Okay. The numbers don't lie, you guys. It's real. Okay. So we would want you to take advantage of that. Come and learn more about that. So next slide, please, Mildred. Okay, so before we go into certification, because that's also important, I want to tell you there was a couple of, I'm not sure which speaker talked about this. It might have been Lakeisha, where she talked about the importance of having access to capital. And I so appreciate what Meriwether and Williams, the services that they provide to our small businesses and helping them access this important capital. And one of the things that I want to tell you about that Metro has implemented is our 15-day pay initiative. So this was effective January 16th in 2024. It was launched by it was launched and approved by our board, and it's one of our breakthrough initiatives that is created to help mitigate cash flow constraints, which we understand that many small businesses experience. So the 15-day pay initiative will apply to all newly awarded non-federally funded contracts and or purchase orders where the prime contractor is a Metro certified small business. So what will happen is Metro will make progress payments within 15 days after receipt of undisputed or properly submitted invoice. And this is where the contractor is submitting the invoice to Metro. It's it's a SBE certified, acting as a prime contractor. So who's eligible for this? All of Metro certified SBE firms awarded with a new contract or purchase order as a prime contractor, you are eligible for the 15-day pay terms. So this is just another way that we are giving you tools to succeed and navigating contracting opportunities with Metro. Next, stay right with there. We're going to talk a little bit about certification, because you heard me say, as we were talking about the 15-day pay initiative, certification. So many of you probably know what certification is, so we won't go into that, but I will tell you what's new. So new regulations have been submitted or released on the DBE, and we have some updates. So your personal net worth is now, if it's less than 2.074 million. Okay, so I know that it was a little bit, it was probably 1.30 million, but now it's 2.74 million. The annual gross receipts 3-year average must be less than 30.72 million. Okay, and this has been amended by the USDOT. And the qualifying individual must be in control of management and daily business operations. 51% of ownership by one or more economically disadvantaged individuals. So I'm sure you understand what that is when we're talking about DBE. Okay, so and we know that encompasses the marginalized groups. For instance, African American, Asian Pacific, Hispanic, as well as women. So those are the categories for the economically disadvantaged groups. Next slide. So those are some of the new updates to the final rule for DBE. Next slide, please, Mildred. And we know why it's important to get certified. Well, it documents a special capability or status that will help you compete in this marketplace, especially in the marketplace of metro contracting opportunities. It also increases your visibility to prime contractors. And prime contractors, especially those that are working on metro projects, are required to meet SBE and DBE utilization goals. So when you are certified as a SBE or a DBE, then your name goes into one of our databases. And so this database is queried by the prime contractors, because in order for them to be responsive to the RFPs or the proposals, they have to make sure that they're meeting those DBE and SBE goals. Next slide, please. Okay, so here's some information about becoming certified. You can, I'm not a certifier, but some of my colleagues here at Metro are, and you can reach them at the numbers that you see here. I'm sure that the slide deck is going to be made available to you, so we won't go through everything, but you would be able to contact them if you have any questions about certification. Maybe you've started, but you haven't completed, or maybe you don't know anything about it at all, and you have questions and you want to get started. Okay, so there's some information to contact them. Next slide. More ways to receive information from Metro Connect. We want you to go to metro.net/connect now. So what's going to happen there is you're going to put your name, your email, and you'll be able to receive from Metro Connect directly. And you'll be able to get our 12-month look aheads, our 24-month look aheads from our program management. You'll be able to get emails about Metro Connect events. So now that's important, because in these events, you're going to get a very, very much detailed, walkthrough of navigating these spaces for metro contracting opportunities, okay? Kind of like a wraparound in all of our events. So that could be anything from our signature events that are workshops or certification workshops or other technical workshops, how to do business with Metro, lunch and learns. And then our Meet the Primes is back on the horizon for 2024. So these are all designed, and when I say these, I'm talking about these workshops and Metro Connect signature events. They're all designed to help small business firms navigate doing business with Metro. It's to help you get acquainted with our programs, our initiatives, and help you to understand what's available to you. Okay, so it's anywhere from the open solicitations that we currently have. And remember, these solicitations are professional services, they're construction, some of them are rolling stock, supply. And then of course, there's the Small Business Prime set aside. And then there's the MSZ1 and MSZ2 set asides. So it's a lot of information there. And all of that is found under our small business program, under our toolkit, as well as our metro.net/connect vendor portal open solicitations. Okay, so next slide, please, Mildred. So if you have questions, I know that we said a lot, not a lot that I could do in 10 minutes to, give you more details about everything that's available to you, but we are here for you. And you can give us a call, metroconnect@metro.net. That's not a call, that's actually an email, metroconnect@metro.net. And I see that I have left out that O in Metro, so sorry about that. metroconnect@metro.net. And just ask any question that you may have, or maybe if you want to get information about an event that we have coming up, or maybe you would like a walk through the vendor portal to help you find and locate our open solicitations. But we're here for whatever it is that you need. And I'm going to hand this back over to Mildred. Mildred, I hope I've stayed in my 10 minutes, and I hope I haven't spoken too fast, but of course, I'm always here for questions.
No, you were great, Jan. Thank you so much for all of that information. And We did share the email in the chat. We will also share the PowerPoint presentation with all the attendees. So you'll have a way of obtaining that email and other information that Jan and the rest of the speakers will share. But thanks again, Jan, for the presentation.
Absolutely.
And wonderful. So let's go ahead and continue on to our next speaker. She is a division manager at the Internal Services Department. Her name is Christine Carr, and she's here to talk a little bit about the bid opportunities happening in her department. Welcome, Christine.
Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is actually Christy Carr, but thank you guys so much for having me today. I want to say a special thanks to Supervisor Solis for partnering and sponsoring this event today, and obviously Ingrid, Meriwether, and Mildred as well for inviting me to present today. My name is Christy Carr. I am ISD's Contracting Division Manager at the County of Los Angeles. We love our acronyms here at the county. So for those of you who are not familiar, we have 38 different departments here at the county, and my department is ISD. It is the Internal Services Department. We are one of those 38 different departments. However, I do manage 7 different sections here at ISD, including our county-wide policies and contracting models and contracting training that is countywide. So I definitely have a pulse on countywide contracting here. In addition to that, I have over 650 different contracts totaling approximately $700 million annually. So that's a little bit about me and my background. And today I'm going to go over with you guys. If we can do the next slide with the agenda. Thank you. I'm going to give you a quick introduction and overview on the LA County vendor registration process. I'm going to give you a little tutorial on how to navigate our website so that you can find open solicitations and show you how to respond to those solicitations. And then there's 2 specific contracting opportunities that I want to share with you today that I desperately need qualified contractors for, which is our Disaster and Emergency Services Master Agreement and our Transportation Services Master Agreement. But I'm also going to show you a listing of all of my open master agreements in addition to those as well. And then I always like to close out my presentations with county resources that are available to you, our vendors, and also my tips and best practices for contracting and doing business with LA County. And we'll start with the registration process. So the registration process here at LA County is super quick and user-friendly and easy. It consists of just 5 steps, which is what you're seeing here in front of you. First is you're going to be creating your vendor profile. In your vendor profile is just your organization type, your business name, your number of employees, your tax ID number, and your gross revenue. The second step is entering your address and contact information, and that is going to include all of your facility addresses, your point of contact emails, phone numbers, and also your California tax permit ID number. Step number 3 is your W-9 and the W-9 certification. So here you're going to enter your firm's information as shown on your income tax return. And you're just going to simply certify that all the information that you've entered is accurate and correct. Step number 4 is selecting your list of commodities and services. Okay, this, along with your contact information, is most important because this is how, when you register to do business with the county, this is how you're going to find out and get notices on all of our open solicitations. So the more commodities and service types that you can select in step 4 of the registration process, the better. So I always recommend, the more the better. Definitely check what boxes apply to the services or goods and products that you can sell to the county. So that's really most important. And then, of course, when you're entering in your contact information, you need to make sure that you're putting the right point of contact. I actually had a situation with one of my prior contractors who called me and was a little frustrated because they weren't getting notifications about our solicitations when we were releasing them. And I did a little bit of digging and come to find out that the point of contact that they had listed on their account had left the company and was no longer with them and was actually with a competitor. So you want to make sure that you're providing the best contact information for somebody who's like in business development or somebody that can respond to solicitations or funnel those solicitations. And then, of course, selecting as many commodities for goods and services that you can provide. Because when we release a solicitation, you'll get an automatic notification on that solicitation that's under that commodity code. And then you're just going to save your account. And that is the 5-step quick, easy process for registering to do business with LA County. And like I said, this is how you're going to get those automatic notifications on all of our solicitations that we release. So not only for my department, for ISD, but for all 38 different departments, you'll get those notifications automatically. And then I want to show you the screenshot. This is the landing page of where you will go to register to do business with us. The website is that prior website that you were seeing in blue, and it's also listed here at the top. It is doingbusiness.lacounty.gov. When you enter in that website address, or if you just type Google search doing business with LA County, you're going to come to this landing page. So this is the one-stop shop for everything procurement related for the county. And you're just going to hit that register button that you're seeing there in front of you. And then once you click that button, we're going to go to the next slide. And this is the registration page. So this is where you'll find yourself after clicking that button. Here, registration only, again, takes a few minutes. It's that quick, easy 5-step process that I just went over with you. So, just make sure that when you are ready to register, if you haven't yet done so already, make sure you have that information readily available that I just went over with you. So, your taxpayer ID number, your addresses and company contact information, and then your California sales tax permit ID number. And if you believe that you're registered, but want to double check, you can select that vendor search button that's highlighted in blue. So you can just do a keyword search for your vendor name and to see if you are indeed registered. If you don't pop up, then you know that you're not registered. Okay. And once you're registered to do business with the county, you're going to go back to that main landing page on doingbusiness.lacounty.gov. And this is where we post, like I said, it's a one-stop shop. So this is where we post all of our open solicitations. Again, this is not just for my department, but it's county-wide for all of our departments. And here you're just going to click that button that you're seeing highlighted or circled rather in red, open solicitations. Once you click that open solicitations button, it's going to take you to a search page. And in this search page, you can search by many different mechanisms. You can search a solicitation by solicitation number, if you happen to have the solicitation number. You can search by title of the solicitation. You can search by keyword, or what I also really, really like is you can search by department. So there is also a pull down menu for departments, or you can do a keyword search for the department. So let's say you wanted to search for all of our internal services department solicitations, you could do that very quickly. Or let's say you wanted to search for all of the open solicitations for the libraries, or maybe beaches and harbor. You can select for solicitations by department as well. So the solicitation that I really want to advertise with you guys today and kind of market self-servingly is our disaster and emergency services master agreement. We love our acronyms here at the county, so I've nicknamed this solicitation DESMA, which is just the first letter of each one of those the solicitation title there. And the reason why I want to highlight this for you today is because our Disaster and Emergency Services Master Agreement is a countywide master agreement to provide just that, disaster and emergency services. We have a variety of service categories under this solicitation. And why I really like this solicitation also is because, one, it's countywide. So that means all 38 different departments can utilize this solicitation, and they do. They use this master agreement contracting vehicle frequently. But I also really like this master agreement and most of my other master agreements also because it's open and continuous, which means that you as vendors can apply and submit a statement of qualifications under this solicitation at any time. Another reason why I like it is because it provides for a lot of flexibility for the county, but also for you, our vendors, because there's a lot of different service categories. And vendors can apply to one service category, some service categories, or all service categories. So there's a lot of flexibility on there for you to be able to qualify one or more service categories, and then also for the county as well, because I can always add service categories, and I do add service categories to this frequently, as you'll see. So here, for the purpose of this presentation, we're going to go ahead and click on that solicitation number, which is going to take us to the next slide and the next screen. Once you click on that solicitation number that was highlighted in blue, you're going to come to a page that looks like this. And this is for all solicitations, by the way. So not just specific to DESMA, but it's all solicitations. And this is the main solicitation information page, where it gives you a high-level overview of all the important information about the solicitation. So you've got the solicitation number, you've got the title, you've got the type, that this is a service. So it's not procuring materials or anything tangible. The department that is managing the solicitation, which in this case is ISD. The commodity, so this is actually under this specific commodity code. The open date, so the open date is when we released the solicitation. So you can see that this is released in April of 2017. And the closing date. So I mentioned this is open and continuous. This is open through the entire term of the master agreement. However, if this were a different type of solicitation, like an RFP or an invitation for bid or an IFB, a request for bid, there would be a closing date on here. And that closing date is the due date for your bid or proposal. Since this is open, it does not have a date because it's open and continuous. And then on the far right, you're seeing the contact information. So this information is all the contract analyst information so that you can contact this individual at any time for assistance on how to submit. If you have any questions, any concerns, you can always reach out to this contract analyst. And actually, that's another reason why I like master agreement programs, because since they are open and continuous, we can help you through this process. Unlike a competitive RFP, or IFB, for example. Because with this, we can guide you through, we can help you through the process to how to submit. And if for some reason you're not able to qualify today, but then you are able to get the experience and qualify at a later date, we can always take a new resubmission under the master agreement program. And then at the bottom, you're going to see this solicitation description information. At the very, very bottom, do you see that solicitation description information? And see that blue button? It says show more on the right-hand side. You're going to click on that button and it takes us to the next slide, which is really, this is all the solicitation information. So this is the actual solicitation document right here. And again, this is the same with all solicitations that are posted on this website. So this is the process for how you're going to access the actual solicitation document. This one was a really large file because there are a lot of different service categories under the solicitation. So you've got 3 different parts to the solicitation: part 1, part 2, part 3. And those that are highlighted or in the blue font rather, that's the actual solicitation document. And to open that, you're just going to click on that zip file button. And once you click on that zip file button, that provides you with all of the solicitation information that you're going to need. It has the minimum requirements to qualify, and it has the prescribed format and procedures for how to put together your submission, which in this case is a statement of qualification. If it was another solicitation like a request for bid or request for proposal, it would have the same information. It would have the prescribed format and submission requirements for the bid or the proposal as well. And so that is really, really important that you follow the instructions in the solicitation and look at the minimum requirements to make sure that you can qualify. And obviously the statement of work or scope of services in this case, and the submission instructions. Okay, and our DESMA. So this is one of the 2 master agreement programs that I wanted to highlight for you today. It is, as I mentioned, an RFSQ type solicitation, which is a request for statement of qualifications. What we need to do and what our goal is for this solicitation is to establish a pool of pre-qualified contractors that can be readily available to provide a variety of disaster and emergency services here for the county. They need to be, our contractors under this program need to be immediately available in case of a disaster or emergency to assist the county with our operational needs. The response to this is a statement of qualifications, and that is like in lieu of a bid or in lieu of a proposal, you're submitting an SOQ, a statement of qualification. This is also a streamlined solicitation vehicle because there is no full-blown statement of work in here. It's very, very high level. And all you need to do is indicate the minimum number of years, your type of experience, any certifications and licenses that may be required. And that is it. So it's a much quicker, streamlined process. And the DESMA categories that we have currently on this master agreement program are as set forth here. These are the current categories that we have. The heavily used categories that are, county-wide utilized right now there's a couple of them. The first one is debris removal. Obviously, whenever we have flooding or fires, debris removal is heavily used in cases like that. Also, relocation services is heavily used as well for evacuation support, but also for moving facilities. The county right now has been frequently looking at teleworking options, and we've also been building new facilities or acquiring new facilities. And so we've been also using it for county relocation services as well. And then on the far right, we're seeing a couple of other service categories as well. The ones that are frequently used here is the first one, slope and watershed protection. Again, this is used for flooding. And also occasionally we've used this for a couple of fire incidents as well. So slope protection and watershed protection. And then the category also immediately under this is the high wind protection category. And the first bullet there is board up services. I know it kind of sounds weird, but we have been using board up services a lot lately. Unfortunately, some of our county facilities have experienced breaking and entering and also vandalism. And so we're using the board up services also to protect and secure some of our county facilities. So all of these are different service categories currently available under the DESMA program. And we desperately need contractors. In most cases, I only have, I would say, under five contractors in each one of these service categories. Okay, the next screen is this is a list of my new DESMA service categories. Okay. So the ones on the left are new that have been recently released, I would say within the past like 6 to 7 months. We've got welding services, and this is for structural steel and piping and welding. Emergency temporary custodial services. This was heavily used recently with the pick back up. Unfortunately, gosh, we thought we were over it, but with COVID. So whenever we have a COVID outbreak, we actually use this service category to come in there and do an enhanced level of cleaning at the county facilities. And the next one are security services. This also is extremely, extremely important and heavily used by the county. I only have one contractor, one contractor under the unarmed security guard services. So we desperately, I don't know if anybody out there provides security services, but we desperately need security service contractors. We need armed and we need unarmed. Traffic control services is a new one as well. HVAC is also a new one. And I only have a couple of contractors under the HVAC as well. And then I wanted to highlight also the new category on the far right. This is a special presentation because I haven't even yet released this. So this is brand new, but it is in the works right now. We actually had the Chief Executive Office of the board reach out to me, and also the manager of the Emergency Operations Center here at the county, who manages all emergency operations, reached out to me and asked for a new service category to be added to our DESMA. So I'm actually in the process of adding this new service category for emergency management services. So this is going to include, preparedness services, planning services, disaster and emergency prevention services, response assistance to the county, recovery services, disaster cost recovery, logistics. So transporting goods, supplies, and materials from facility to facility, mitigation, grant management, and also operations as well. So this is going to be a new service category. I'm hoping to get it released like within the next week. So if this is something that is in your business lane, definitely check back on our Doing Business With Us website. I would say within the week, this should be added. So you will have a lot of opportunity there. Another reason really quick why I like the master agreements, by the way, is because it's for you, for vendors, it's much less competition, as you can see, because I only have a handful of qualified contractors under the master agreement programs in each service category. So instead of competing against thousands of vendors, you're only competing against those that are qualified. So in some cases, one vendor, in some cases, two, in some cases, 5 vendors. So it's a much smaller field for competition versus a regular RFP or IFP, so to say. Okay, the next solicitation that I wanted to highlight for you guys is that transportation services master agreement. This is also a countywide, if we can go back, I'm sorry, Mildred, one slide. Thank you so much. This is another somewhat new master agreement program. It's the same thing. It's an RFSQ solicitation. It's open and continuous, so you can submit it anytime. I'm shocked, especially living in Los Angeles, where it's like we have a ton of like limos and party buses and shuttles and stuff all over the place. But I only have 2 contractors on this master agreement program, 2, and it's used countywide. This is used heavily for beaches and harbors right now, and also for the fire department. It's a really cool program actually that the fire department, they use it for their lifeguard and their youth lifeguard training camps to transport trainees to and from the county facilities. We do 2 different types of solicitation. So its cost is either based on a fixed route or by a per mile basis. And it's anywhere in LA County or It can also be in neighboring counties as well. So again, I only have 2 contractors on this, and I'm desperate for new vendors that can provide transportation services as well. And this right here, and Mildred, I'll send you an email with this listing so that you can send this out to all of the attendees today. But this is also a list of all of my open master agreements that I have here. I highlighted DESMA for you, which is the Disaster and Emergency Services. The next yellow arrow that you're seeing is also a master agreement that I think would be applicable to this group, which is facilities. It's facility ancillary services. So it's got a ton of opportunities under there. And of course, we had the transportation services one under there as well. But this is a listing of all my master agreements that are open and continuous so that you can apply at any time. I've got the description of the service on the right, on the left, the solicitation number, the open date, they're all still open, the contract analyst name and their email, so you can reach out to them if you have any questions at all. We are happy to help walk you through the submission process on this to get you guys qualified. And I put a QR code on here for you guys. Our website is that blue address, doingbusiness.lacounty.gov. But go ahead, that's a QR code for you to check us out as well. Just like our partners over there at Metro, we do also have a prompt payment program for all certified preference providers. So if you are a local small business, if you are a social enterprise, like for example, a CBO or nonprofit, or if you're a disabled veteran business, you can certify to be applicable for our prompt payment program. And we also give a 15% price reduction preference on your bids and proposals submitted as well. So in addition to many other opportunities for the PPEs that we have. So definitely check it out. If you're not registered, go to that website. If you can certify as a local small business, social enterprise, or disabled vet, that information is also available on that website. And we also have a CBE program, which is a community-based enterprise program as well for our minority-owned businesses, our LGBTQs, our women-owned, and our disadvantaged businesses as well. And then on the right-hand side, I included some helpful information, website information. If you need assistance with vendor registration, that's here at ISD. So we are happy also to help walk you through the vendor registration process. You can email us, email is usually preferred, but if you need to give us a call, we're available on the phone as well. And I already went through the registration and open solicitation information, but that last email, or I'm sorry, that last website is information on the preference programs. And then I always like to close it out with some best practices and tips for contracting with the county. I know sometimes it can be a really intimidating process to participate in solicitations, especially, you know, if you're new to doing business with us or a smaller firm. So with that in mind, you know, these are some of my tips. We do post all of this information and include all of our information, very clear instructions in the actual solicitation. So first and foremost, obviously, make sure that you're thoroughly reading, but also following the instructions in that solicitation. Always attend also our conferences that we host. We'll either most likely host a bidders conference or a proposers conference, or a vendors conference if it's an RFSQ. And at those conferences, we give a lot of really good, important information. We give an overview on the solicitation. We give an overview on the statement of work. We give you instructions on how to submit and how to prepare your submission. We go over the key important milestone dates. And it's also a great opportunity to meet our staff, whether it's the contract staff or the operations staff as well. We always have representatives there. And we also open it up for questions, Q&A. We facilitate a Q&A question period at the end. Debriefs. We also, in addition to conferences, we always offer debriefs. So if you are unfortunately not a successful vendor being awarded a contract or master agreement, we do also offer a debrief. And at that debrief, it's free of charge. We will sit down with you, most of the time virtually. We will sit down with you and we will go over the evaluation process, the evaluation criteria, and how you as a firm were evaluated and scored. Most importantly, how you were scored as it relates to the RFP. And we also give you some evaluator comments in regards to your scores as well. So it's a great opportunity to improve for next time around, whether it's a solicitation that you're participating in with the county or Metro or our partners at the city. It's just really, really helpful and provides you some information on anything that you need to do to improve and your deficiencies with your submission. Q&As, definitely always ask questions. With RFSQs, you can ask questions anytime. With closed solicitations though, there is a specific Q&A period. We do respond to every single question that we receive. We respond in writing through an addendum that is released on the solicitation. So make sure that you're also checking that addendum for any new and important information that corresponds to the Q&A period. Also understanding the solicitation requirements and making sure that you're responding to each one of those clearly. In a closed solicitation and also in these RFSQs, we do have very specific criteria that you need to include in a narrative in your submission. And you need to make sure that you are responding to each one of those areas that we're asking you to. For example, qualifications, experience, your approach on how you're going to provide the services, what your quality control plan is, so on and so forth. And then of course, last but not least is know your deadlines. There's a deadline to register for conferences. There's a deadline, to attend the conference. There's a deadline for Q&A. There's a deadline for the bid and proposal submission. So just make sure that you know those deadlines. And that's all that I had for today. Again, definitely check out our Disaster and Emergency Services Master Agreement. I just extended it actually for another 2 years. So that master agreement is now open through July 31st of 2026. And then we also have the Transportation Services Master Agreement program as well. Mildred, I'll send you that listing of the other master agreement opportunities. And thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Christy. And I'll be expecting the list. And we'll send that out to all the attendees in our database as well. So we're excited to share that with you all. And again, we'll be sharing all of the PowerPoint's presentation. So you'll have all of this wonderful information for your records. And wonderful. So we are nearing the end of our workshop. We do have one last speaker. Her name is Amy Lee. She is a business relations and compliance analyst at the County Public Works. Welcome, Amy.
Good afternoon. Thank you to Supervisor Solis and the Countywide Contractor Development and Bonding Assistance Program for bringing so many great departments together for this workshop. I know we are nearing the end of our time, so I'll try to breeze through as much as possible. So my name is Amy Lee. I am one of the program managers with the Business Relations and Contracts Division here at LA County Public Works. Public Works awards over $1 billion worth of contracts a year, and we manage over $3.3 billion in active capital construction projects. So we're basically here to tell you how to navigate the process to get a big piece of that pie. Next slide. Oh, sorry, let's go back. So what is Public Works? Public Works is one of the 38 county departments you heard about earlier, and we provide many essential services to the 10 million residents in LA County. This could be from water to waste management, to transportation, to vertical and horizontal construction. And these are all essential services that we couldn't possibly do alone at that scale without the help of our vendors and contractors. Next slide. So step one in doing business with LA County Public Works is to register. That's with our centralized purchasing department, internal services. Christy did such a great job explaining the process, so I won't get into it. But essentially, registration tells the county that you exist. It tells Public Works who you are and what service and product you provide. And it obviously gives you access to all of the county's opportunities. Next slide. Step two is to certify. It's highly recommended. You can certify with our Department of Economic Opportunity to receive benefits such as prompt pay, the 15% bid preference, and select list for opportunities. Definitely go on the website listed there to find out if you may qualify so you can take advantage of those benefits. Next slide. So step three, now that we've gone over the countywide process, let's hone in on how to do business with Public Works specifically. Public Works mainly deals with contractors related to infrastructure maintenance, professional services, and buildings and major construction. You'll see that on the next slide there. And next slide. But we also purchase over 20,000 types of materials and services, and some of them are directly related to construction, but we still also purchase items needed to run our organization. This can be uniforms, office supplies, printing services, and marketing services. So all this to say, don't write Public Works off just because you're not directly related to infrastructure or construction. Next slide. So once you've identified Public Works as a potential client, everything that you need to do in order to do business with Public Works is at that website there, dobusinesswithpublicworks.com. That's the one website I want you to remember from this presentation. You can even go ahead and click it through the chat once my team drops it in the link, and I see that already, so thank you. Along with that, there are also some really great resources, and you're going to come out of this making the most of all the tools and how to navigate the process through this presentation. Next slide. So first and foremost, you can search opportunities by filtering for your business wherever you fit in, whether it's infrastructure or building or sundry for things like on-call flagging, CCTV, or transportation services, which are available on our website right now. Next slide. And you can even search for opportunities by their status. Now, what you're going to be most interested in are the open and the upcoming. So right now we have about 20 opportunities that are currently open, but we have also 150 upcoming opportunities listed with when they're estimated to release. So that's 150 of which you can start preparing for, either getting your bids or proposals together, or start getting in touch and partnering with other businesses that will help make you more competitive. Next slide. Now the screenshot here, if you're looking at open opportunities, there's some major items to note. Obviously, proposal due date and time. We consider that almost to the second, so make sure to meet those. We also have the contact person or the contract analyst, who's going to be your resource for questions during the Q&A portion that Chrissy had mentioned earlier. And we also have the RFP documents so that you can follow those instructions exactly. Again, everything is to a T. Make sure you utilize all of these tools to make sure you're responding to the best of your ability and to what the instructions are specifying. Next slide. You can create an account and register for any solicitation to receive updates. What that does also publishes your contact information as a plan holder. So as a plan holder, there's categories for prime, sub, or supplier so that others can contact you for those partnerships. And this is really important and really good to register whether you're going to be a prime or a sub. If you're a sub looking to partner with primes, this is a good place for you to put your company name out there so primes can reach out to you. Even if you're listed as a prime and you don't get awarded, there's still going to be opportunities for you to partner potentially with the winning prime for opportunities in the future. So if you're not on the plan holder list, you're really potentially losing out on partnerships with some contractors. And even worse, if Your competition is listed on the list, this plan holder list, but you're not listed. So you definitely want to take advantage. Next slide. So there are no shortcuts to county contracting, but luckily there's also no secrets. What you need to do is stay ahead of the latest and upcoming opportunities. You can do that with Public Works by subscribing to our Do Business with Public Works newsletter. This will allow you to get weekly notifications on all the newest opportunities, business funding resources, and events like this one. We also have workshops that will be partnering with CDABP as well that are coming up. So we hope you can get notified and sign up as soon as possible. And this essentially allows you to know what Public Works is up to. Next slide. All right, so we have our own QR code. We've also added our links here so you can get started on those steps that we outlined today. Feel free to reach us at the email businessrelations@pw.lacounty.gov. If you have any questions on how to do business with Public Works, we hope you found this information useful. If there's anything you take from this workshop, it's that there are so many tools, there's support, and so many programs like the Contractor Development and Bonding Assistance Program that are available to you to set you up for success and help you grow your business through government contracting. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Amy. And absolutely, we are here to help you get started on your path to success. We want you to grow your business. We want to help you with that, with bonding, and you have all the support here from, you've seen from Metro, from the Internal Services Department, from business, from LA County Public Works, and of course, CDAP. So don't hesitate to reach out to us if you have any questions. We did have a Q&A section towards the end, which is now. However, we are over our time, so we'll have to skip this for this workshop. But please send us your questions. You'll be receiving these presentations in your email inboxes soon, hopefully tomorrow. So you'll have CDAP's email and the speaker's emails as well. So please send those questions over. We want to help and we want to make sure that you have all the resources you need to be successful. Having said that, I'll go ahead and turn this over to Lakeisha Bearden, again, Director of Program Development, for last remarks.
Thank you, Mildred, and I want to thank everyone for attending today. I know that was a lot of information, but the information provided really is designed to help you grow your contracting capacity and better position you to do work with Metro and the County of Los Angeles. So a special thank you to Supervisor Hilda Solis, as well as a special acknowledgement to Wakas Rahman, who was instrumental in the county adopting this program as one of the resources to provide to their construction businesses to really open up the pool of contractors. So really want to acknowledge that team for all they are doing for the contracting community and also for being an integral part of our program being a resource to the county. A special thank you to Tyrone Austin, Jan Davis with Metro, Christy and Amy with the County of Los Angeles, and also want to say thank you to Janet and Mildred for assisting with this program presentation. So thank all of you and have a great rest of your evening.
Thank you, Lakeisha. It's great being here. Great presentations.